1999 Girls Class A State Basketball Tournament was billed as unpredictable because of the great balance in the East and West. Well, certainly, unpredictability was the name of the game in yesterday's first round. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to semifinal night of the Girls State A. I'm Dan Hammer along with Lee Timmerman, and what happened in that unpredictable first round yesterday? Well, the defending state champion West Fargo Packers were defeated, and so were the East Region champions and the West Region champions.
Yeah, I think to a person, the coaches coming into this thing of all 8 teams said if we took this tournament, played it on 3 straight weekends, you'd come out with 3 different champions. Yesterday, definitely an indication of that.
Semi-final night, 4 teams still in the run for the Class A Girls Championship. Coming up in a few minutes, 20-game winners, the Bismarck Demons facing the Fargo North Spartans, and a little bit later tonight, Minot against that perennial visitor to prime time in the semifinals, the Mandan Braves.
Well, to follow up on that unpredictable, Dan, how about look at the 2 teams playing for 7th place, the region champions.
That's right.
You talked
Williston
about.
And Jamestown.
It'll be Williston against Jamestown tomorrow because the Packers beat the Coyotes by 2 today, and then it was the Bruins over the Jamestown Blue Jays by 1. A couple of good games this afternoon here at the Civic Center.
North and Bismarck High in just a few minutes in our first semifinal game of the night, and for a few keys to that game, we go to Scott Peters and John Cole.
All right, thanks a lot, gentlemen. You know, you talk about unpredictability. One thing you can bet on, though, is Natalie Bruner of Bismarck High is going to get her points. That's one thing Fargo North has to watch. Negate Natalie, that's one of the keys for Fargo North. Also, the Spartans have to get their points inside. They had a great game on the perimeter yesterday, but they don't want to have to rely on that again tonight.
Well, Bismarck certainly could be concerned with North's speed, but on the other side of the coin, Bismarck has some very good tournament experience. You never know what's going to happen. And gentlemen, that is why they play the games. Let's have some fun.
Well, Natalie Bruner on the left, she is without a doubt had been the most consistent basketball player I've seen this year, and most people have seen this year in the state of North Dakota. She averages 20 points a game. She has not taken more than 20 shots in a game and has not scored less than 15 points and not more than 27 points. You don't get more consistent than that. Natalie Bruner, really the key to Bismarck High.
No doubt about it. She has been a mark of consistency. Well, you know, in Fargo North yesterday, their hero was Katie Dolan, the freshman who came off the bench, but their misconsistency really has been Michelle Hansen, and Hansen, with a very strong regional tournament last week, carried her team to the state tournament. Hansen, the 6-foot junior, averages 12 points a game on the season, but last week she scored 17 points a game and helping North to the state tournament, their second straight trip to the State A.
Well, to follow up a little bit more on what John was talking about with tournament experience, I mean, yesterday in North's win, there were 2 instances when North kind of went ahead in the ball game. In the second period, there were 3 freshmen on the floor, and then late in the game, the freshmen got it done again. I mean, there's kids just came in and just, I mean, state tournament, blah, that means nothing. And Bismarck High, Stacy Meese, a starter since she's been a freshman and had the knee last year, but came back to play in the tournament. And Rochelle Gossett's been a 3-year starter, so definitely tournament experience.
Kind of a youth movement, actually, this year in Class A basketball around the state. I mean, the top players, if you ask the coaches, are underclassmen this year. They're not the senior class.
Yeah, the best player that I've seen in either class is Carrie Hansen for Mandan this year, and she is a junior. The junior class is loaded, and Class B next week we'll see some awesome sophomores.
Yeah. But you have to seize the opportunity, because last year West Fargo won the state championship, and everyone anointed them at the end of last year the favorite this year, and even a couple of people taken out of the lineup can really make a difference, as West Fargo found out this year, even though they had people back like Kristen Davidson and Amanda Krenz. Well, tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Dodge and your friendly Dodge dealer.
For the Bismarck Demons, Natalie Bruner, we've talked about her a bunch, 20 points a game. I mean, she does a little bit of everything, and the one thing Natalie probably does that most players don't anymore is she can actually shoot right off the pass without having to dribble it all the time, but she's a junior at 5'6".
Nice to see.
Rochelle Gossett, a tremendous athlete for Bismarck High, a very, very good volleyball player. She is a part of a 3-person rotation inside. The point guard is Jenny Saylor. Jenny, a 5'6" senior. She wears number 21. Stacy Mees, the best three-point shooter for Bismarck High. Stacy has great range. In fact, coach wants her to take a few more shots. The shot blocker inside with terrific timing. That is Lindsay Ness. Lindsay at 5'11", she is a junior. And the coach, Rich Hovland. Rich in his 7th year as the girls' head coach at Bismarck High, who is 20-3.
The Fargo North Spartans come into this basketball game 16-8. They were the 4th seed from the East coming into the tournament. Winners over Williston yesterday, 54-51. At one forward, a 5'10" senior, Lucy Guest. She averages 4 points a game. The point guard is a freshman, Carissa Johnner, 5'7", who averages 6 points a game. The other guard is Johanna Holton, the 5'7" senior. Holton averages 7 points a game, likes to shoot the three-pointer. Also up front, Sarah Larson, a 5'10" senior, back in the lineup this year after missing most of last year because of a knee injury. And in the middle, as we told you, the key last weekend, the Spartans drive to the state tournament, Michelle Hansen, a 6-foot junior who averages 12 points a game. Ann Watkins, the head coach of the Spartans in her 2nd year. Fargo North was here last year, and it was a stunning surprise because the Spartans a year ago were the 7th seed in the East Region tournament. They made it to state. They played Bismarck High in the first round, fell 45-40 in that first round. So this game, a matchup of at what was last year 2 very, very young basketball teams that had made it to state. Now they have much more experience. Now let's honor our country on this day after Veterans Day with the national anthem.
The Jamestown High School Pep Band, under the direction of Mr. David Torbert, will play our national anthem.
The State A Girls semifinals coming up next along the NBC North Dakota Sports.
A Northland story right off the assembly line.
Hey, we've built a lot of trucks here, but there's nothing like the Northland Edition F-150, and we're building it just for you. It's a 4x4, 4-door Super Cab XLT. It's got the 5-point...
The telecast of these tournament games has been authorized by special arrangement with the Board of Directors of the North Dakota High School Activities Association. It's North and Bismarck, and for the play-by-play, here's Mr. Dan Hammer.
Rochelle Gossett and Larson tipped it off, and the Demons controlled the basketball off the opening tip-off. These two teams played early in the basketball season.
East-West Classic.
Very, very hard to make any kind of connection, though, between that game and these tournament games, even though many of these teams have played each other early. So Bruner immediately goes to the baseline and is fouled on the play by Michelle Hansen.
Well, Hansen kind of came off to give help on Bruner, as you have to against Natalie Bruner. She's extremely quick with the basketball, especially with the first step, going to her left that time, drawing the first foul of the game. I think the only thing you really take, like for Bismarck High in the East-West Classic, is that they went over and they were the only team from the West that won 3 games.
Sure, confidence.
Yep, so they were a team that was, you know, extremely happy with how that went.
Carissa Johnner, the freshman point guard for the North Spartans. Pretty cool customer for a freshman.
But you have to be to play point.
Getz, one of the returning starters the Spartans had coming into this season.
In fact, Johnner, who has the ball, I thought that Coach, when we were talking today, Coach Watkins said she's the calmest kid I have ever coached.
Holton had that pass deflected away by Lindsay Ness. And Ness just got her frame and her arms up in the air and pretty much suffocated that attempted pass.
Yeah, Ness, you take a look at Lindsay. I mean, she'll never win a weightlifting contest, but what she can do is she has terrific timing. And you see that with 70 shots blocked. And of course, there was one of those passes deflected that there is no stat for that, but she is a very good defender, anticipates well.
Bruner puts it onto the floor, double teamed and kicks it back out. Saylor inside. Over the double team was Rochelle Gossett's shot, and it's 1 and out. You know, you talk about consistency, and you've used that word to describe Natalie Bruner, but Bismarck High as a team, obviously with a 20-3 record, has been consistent, but they've never lost back-to-back basketball games.
No, in fact, their losses
this season
came in Game 4, Game 11, and Game 21.
Michelle Hansen puts it on the floor and to the baseline. So Michelle Hansen, even though she is a post player, will do that from time to time, put it on the floor. She'll also step out and hit the 15-footer and sometimes the three-pointer. Johnner gets the defensive assignment on Bruner, who pulls up. The Demons get a second chance as Gossett was working on the offensive rebounds. Now they get a third, and finally on the fourth opportunity they convert.
Well, it's Gossett who is in there muscling up a little bit. She didn't take one shot yesterday, and so far today she has taken 3 already, and her third was the 2 points.
North likes to believe that rebounding can be an advantage for them. As you take a look at Hansen and also Lucy Getz and Larson are real active players along the boards. Now Bismarck pushes its defense out.
Well, both of these teams felt that points inside would be a key, and especially for Fargo North. Gossett on a reach around.
Foul number 15, Michelle Gossett. First personal, first Bismarck team foul.
Joanna Holton inbounds for the Spartans. Larson in control of the dribble, as we told you, lost most of last season with a knee injury. She's also an outstanding volleyball player. And there's another inlet pass tipped away. And again, it was by Gossett. So she has been in impact defensively for the Demons here in the first 3 minutes of the basketball game.
Well, the gal with the ball, Dan, Stacy Meese, she lost over half of last year with a knee injury as well.
Inside they go quickly, and Ness was not able to convert, and that's something that is becoming more and more frequent with high school female athletes. Serious knee injuries as Michelle Hansen converts.
Well, that's just a good look from Johnner to kick it back out. But yeah, go ahead with your point. You're right. We see it
We talked
a
about
lot.
the 2 players from last year, and this year in the East alone, Lindsay Hewitt, Fargo South starting point guard, was lost to a knee injury. Kristen Davidson, as Bruner will go to the free throw line and try for a 3-point play. So in the last couple of years, I think locally, and I mean locally by the state now, that we've really seen what studies are proving is that female athletes, high school female athletes, are really more vulnerable to major knee injuries than their male counterparts.
My niece, who's playing freshman basketball down in Sioux Falls, she lost a knee this year. She didn't lose it, it was just broke.
That's very serious. Beautiful backdoor, the pick, and Carissa Johnner converts it for the Spartans, and it's a...
Well, one thing North did yesterday is set a bunch of plays for Katie Dolan when she was in the game, and of course had 28 points. That was a set play to get your point guard a back pick and then the lob over.
They tried the double team. Bruner cuts to the basket, can't convert. Tip ball, and the Demons have it back.
Meese will take
Meese, she likes the 3. It's short on the rim. Holton has the rebound for Fargo North. A 6-6 game, just past the halfway mark of this first quarter. Mandan and Minot a little bit later on tonight in our second semifinal game. Holton this time cutting to the basket, underhand. It was short, and Lucy Getz followed, and she was fouled.
Well, I think both teams on the offensive end are doing a pretty decent job of cutting, as you mentioned, cutting to the basket, creating movement, using movement to create openings. I mean, Bruner missed the last shot on Bismarck High's end. The last was a cut, backdoor cut, the last 2 points for Johnner. And here, enough foul, second foul on Gossett on a cut.
We've played 4.5 minutes. It's 6-6.
Tools give you leverage, the advantage when solving a problem. Financial tools.
Jamestown, for the second straight year, hosting the State A, and their hopes were so high for their hometown Blue Jays. There was a huge crowd last night off the inbounds pass, and Lucy Getz scores, and that's execution to perfection.
Well, it wasn't the first option either, I don't think, Dan, because it took a while to get it in, but Getz circled around, and then what did she do? She cut to the basket.
But Jamestown was so hopeful that their team would move on and be in the night bracket.
And a huge crowd last night. Yeah.
Blue Jays upended in the first round. Ness has her shot blocked. Holton picks up her dribble. Johnner left all alone. The three is short. In the corner, Bruner decides, I'll just let that go out of bounds and we'll take possession.
Mike North on the offensive end looks a little crisper of the two teams so far.
Saylor looks inside, and again the pass batted away. Both teams doing a good job defensively on denying those inlet passes. We've seen a few steals off of that so far in the first quarter. Larson. Now they kick it out. Holton for three. A lot of white jerseys underneath on the defensive boards, and here's Bruner back quickly the other way, pulls up. It's long, and Larson has the rebound for North.
Well, Bismarck went to a zone that last trip down the floor.
Getz tries for three. That's off. Offensive foul by Larson, and she can't convert, but she does earn a trip to the free throw line.
Well, a long shot or penetration into the heart of a defense, what it does is it weakens you up big time on the rebounding aspect. The shot came back. Larson threw the foul there. The foul was on Bruner. But a long shot or a drive or a quick pass inside, it makes things move so much that it's hard to find a defender to box out.
Sarah Larson averaged 10 points a game on the season, 1 of 2 free throws here. She went to the free throw line late yesterday and did not convert a couple free throws, but it didn't hurt the Spartans in the end either way, because they had super freshman Katie Dolan knocking down the game-winning three-pointer with 0.8 of a second remaining to beat Williston. Inside quickly, shot is blocked by Ness, batted out of bounds, and it'll go Bismarck's way.
Yeah, Larson trying to get it back after the block. 71st shot block of the year. Pretty good. That's over 3 a game. Anytime you're doing that. By Ness.
Lisa Bruner into the Bismarck High lineup. She wears number 13. Meese was the recipient of the deflection. Chucks it back inside, and Lindsay Ness has the field goal for Bismarck High. Johnner quickly. Hansen, she can shoot it from that range, but that is strong. And the rebound cleared away by Lacey DeWall.
For the last 3-4 trips down the floor for North now, North has gotten away from that penetration or that drive. They've gone more to that outside, that three-point. Johnner took the first three, and everyone else said, okay, we're shooting threes now.
Johnner defensively ties up Bruner. And a possession arrow will give. Which way is it pointing? We don't really have one we can look at in front of us. It'll stay in Bismarck's hand. Marie Leroux into the North lineup. She wears number 30. She was a starter a year ago.
After Larson got injured.
That's right. And this year she's first off the bench for Ann Watkins' team.
And now both teams have changed up a little bit. Here's the zone, first time for North.
Bismarck trying to milk it for the final shot of the quarter, 21 seconds and counting. And a 9-8 North lead.
She can hit it. She can hit it from out there.
She has great range. Lisa Bruner. Now the clock down to 8 seconds and they turn it over. Hansen is fouled on the play with 2.4 seconds to go, and it'll be the second on Ness. So Lindsay Ness and Rochelle Gossett.
That's her first, I believe.
Each picking up some fouls here to begin with. Yeah.
Give one of Lindsay's to Bruner and you'll be set.
Gossett does have 2 though in the first quarter. Leroux at the buzzer, and it's good. I didn't even hear the horn. The clock said 0, but I didn't hear a horn.
One must have went off because both teams are going at the sideline.
Leroux's bucket at the end of the quarter, and North leads Bismarck High 11-8.
Take a good look at Dodge Durango.
Thank you, John. And there she is, the hero from yesterday's opening round win, Katie Dolan, the freshman who came off the bench, 28 points, including a state A tournament record, 6 3-pointers. She sees her first action as we begin play in the second quarter. North with possession, leading 11-8.
Bismarck back to a man defense.
Bruner draws the assignment on Dolan. You can maybe hear some of the North coaches trying to relay their instructions to Katie Dolan to slide into the middle of that set.
Well, Hansen does, a lot of the work inside, and she's not in there right now. Larson also has played, quite a bit inside. But as you mentioned earlier, her game can go all over. There's the high post that they're looking for.
And she puts it on the floor, goes to the basket, shot is off. Leroux battling for the rebound, and pulling it away is Lacey DeWall for Bismarck High.
DeWall is extremely aggressive on the boards. You'll see her go and then just rip it. And once she gets it, she don't want to give it up.
DeWall with a little pump fake. High off the glass. Loose basketball, it's still on the floor. 4 different people have their hands on it. And the possession this time, if memory serves me right, will go to Bismarck.
Yep, after the quarter, they'll flip-flop it, go back. Well, with that miss from DeWall, 3 of 14 is Bismarck High.
That's right.
So far in this game.
That's what they're shooting so far, a cold 3 of 14. Lisa Bruner looking for Natalie the cutter, and Natalie finishes for Bismarck High, and the Demons get within 1. Now quickly the Spartans back the other way. Larson tried to dump it off to Leroux, and it went off Leroux.
Well, the last possession for Bismarck High, Johnner, as you see, number 13 right there, she got herself kind of watching the ball. He lost track of where Natalie Bruner was. Bruner took a backdoor cut and scored. The one thing Johnner has to do is remember, number 5's the best player for Bismarck High. Your job to guard her.
Larson this time comes out to cover the cutter to the free throw line. And Lisa Bruner tripped up on the play there.
Well, Lisa Bruner she's offensive minded, a little more offensive oriented of the people that come in, of the 2 guards that Coach Hovland will use on a rotation. So after the slow shooting, not a surprise to see her into the game.
Saylor almost pulled the trigger. They work it around the perimeter.
Saylor hesitates a little bit before she shoots. In fact, Coach wants her to shoot a little bit more. She didn't take a shot yesterday. She's the point guard.
Saylor had to chase that pass down. That got by her momentarily. Good defensive set this time by the Spartans. D-Wall and the offensive follow.
And LaRue, I think, will be called for the foul.
She will.
On the long shot, you can expect a long rebound if it doesn't go in. This shot from Bruner, you see it after it's hit the rim, it kicks out. Lacey D-Wall is there, and she goes aggressively. As we mentioned, she comes in, kind of provides that type of spark. And the foul on LaRue, her first.
Knees inbounds, and that's a travel. Rochelle Gossett made her way to the basket, but not without walking. We're a few minutes into the second quarter. North 11, Bismarck High 10. Part of the Demon contingency here at the Jamestown Civic Center. Bismarck now, after the timeout, coming with some full court pressure. And the Spartans break it safely. Larson, now Dahlin. They look inside to LaRue. She waves it off and says no. Cross-court pass, a risky one, but Holton is able to get the handle on it. LaRue kicks it back out. Bismarck High defensively this year on 11 different occasions held its opponents to 40 or under. That's a sign of how strong they've been defensively. Dahlin puts it on the floor, and Katie Dahlin has her first basket of the game.
Well, whether it's been against the man-to-man or in this instance the zone defense, Fargo North has been its most effective when it has been going to the basket. Neither team has really gotten the outside shots to go.
And that was a real patient set offensively that time for Fargo North.
I thought North did a good job of trying to see what Bismarck was doing defensively.
Nice play by Larson to free up the loose basketball ahead to LaRue, and she finishes at the other end. So Fargo North has its biggest lead of the basketball game, a 5-point cushion, 4:20 to play in the first half.
Well, Coach Hovland talks about how he was a little afraid of the team speed of Fargo North. There was a perfect example. LaRue at 5'10", she just busted as soon as she saw a teammate and beat everyone back.
Mies tries to get around Dahlin. Now they battle for the loose basketball. It's tied up. And possession arrow will go to Fargo North. Hanson back into the North lineup.
I don't know if this full court, it's not an all-out go for the steal type of full court we'll see from Mandan, but I think it's more or less designed just to see if get the Demons a little bit more involved, get them on their toes a little bit more.
Sarah Larson operating in the middle of that North offensive set. Johnner tries to dump it inside.
Somehow got it.
Somehow Lucy Getz was able to retrieve that basketball. Larson has her shot partially blocked, and Lindsay Ness clears it out of there for the Demons, who trail 15-10. Now Bruner quickly to the baseline. Her shot is off, and that might be over the back on Hanson. Let's see which way it goes.
Number 32, Michelle Hanson,
Second on Hanson.
That miss from Bruner there, Dan, is really her bread and butter. She is just so good off the move at that pull-up jumper, and she's had a couple of those that have not gone in this game.
Ness kicks it back out. Beth Johnson, number 33, is in the Bismarck lineup, a 5'6" senior. Bruner with a little hop to the paint. And Hanson has the rebound for the Spartans.
Again, that's where Bruner gets most of her points. So those are the types of things that she has to do against this zone. Find the soft spot inside.
Larson double team.
Almost an overload for North.
Sure is. They get it to the weak side, and scoring underneath is Lucy Getz.
Well, you overload the side. That means the defense has to come over and honor that defensively. And right now, North passing the ball exceptionally well.
And the Spartans have built their lead to 7.
10 minutes and we're out of here.
Hi, Ralph. It's that pipe again. Will it take long?
Nah, only DirecTV. A couple hours.
Well, lock up.
On the Shields instant replay, here's that passing we're talking about, coming into the heart of a defense. The defense on a zone has to collapse around it. Sarah Larson makes the good pass, and the 2 points on the weak side after kind of an overload on the left side of the court. But Fargo North right now, without a doubt, the team that is the sharpest.
We'll see what Bismarck counters with its defense next trip down the court for the Spartans. Meantime, the Demons go to work on the offensive end, trailing 17-10. Johnner continues defensively on Natalie Bruner. Now to the floor, and with the left hand, Jenny Saylor.
Well, I think in that timeout something may have been said to the other guards, Saylor and Meese. Hey, Nat's not making some points. She's not scoring for us right now. That means you other guards have to get something going. And Saylor moves well to her left.
Man-to-man defense for Bismarck High. Larson looking. Goes outside the free throw line and finally kicks it out for Johnner.
It's taken North just a little bit of time to get into a set, their offensive set.
Lindsay Ness fronting Michelle Hansen in the battle down in the low blocks. Hansen, the rebound, that is strong. Getz has another opportunity, has it knocked away, but Dolan saves it on the baseline.
I think it was DeWall who came out and bumped her a little bit. And it was.
First foul on Lacey DeWall. 5 team fouls on Bismarck High, 6 on North with a minute 32 to play in the first half, and Ness knocks that pass away.
Well, here's a possession for Bismarck that's important whenever you're trailing. Okay, you just forced a turnover. What you have to do is turn that into points. It's the perfect example or a chance to get back in the game.
Bruner has her shot blocked, and Hansen has the rebound. North has been getting good help defensively tonight on Natalie Bruner. Now Dolan's shot spins off. You talked about those points off of turnovers. Yesterday, Bismarck High in their win over West Fargo had 19 points off of turnovers. 19 out of their 44 points came off of turnovers. LaRue back into the North lineup, as well as Johanna Holton.
Johanna Holton back in the game.
And Holton substituting for Dolan, the senior for the freshman. It was pretty obvious right off the bat there. Katie made the one, but she had a couple other opportunities. Didn't have the hot hand. So North pulls her out and will bring her back in a little bit later to see if she has the hot hand.
And they'll try to get her an opportunity to shoot the ball early when she comes into the game next time around, whenever that might be. Backdoor, Johnner is there, shields her body from the defender, misses, takes it back up, that's partially blocked. LaRue has her shot partially blocked. Oh, what a defensive stand by Bismarck High, but then they throw it away.
Well, Gossett tried to just hand it off to the first guard she saw, and that was Stacy Meese, and Meese let it go past her because the point guard, and there's that backdoor play that has worked more than once, and then the offense and the Shields replay, it comes back to LaRue, and the block.
Johnner strong toward the basket, she's fouled.
Well, number 15,
The third one on Gossett, so that's who DeWald will come in for. That's kind of the three-person rotation inside, Gossett, DeWald, and Ness.
Johnner looking for inbounds, needs some help now, and finally gets it out to LaRue, but she loses it. Stacy Meese now for Bismarck High with under 30 seconds to play in the half. Saylor dishes it back on top. Bismarck High will try to convert here and go out of this first half on a positive note. They've trailed for much of this first half. Now they spread the floor with 10 seconds to go, and gee, can't believe Natalie Bruner might take the last shot. Bruner double team, partially blocked. LaRue has a rebound. Can she get a shot off before the buzzer? No.
Lost control of it right in front of us. Otherwise, she had a chance to get a shot off.
Boy, Natalie Bruner hasn't had many uncontested looks at the basket in the first half.
And it's nothing special that Johnner's doing. She's just playing good, solid defense, just kind of trying to keep the body.
17-12. That's the North lead at the half. We go to John Cole.
It's a slow start for your club in the first half here, huh?
I think we're forcing some shots. We've had some really nice opportunities at times, and they didn't go down early, and we tightened up a little bit. We just got to relax and take what's given to us rather than force the action a little bit. Defensively, I'm pretty happy. Rebounding-wise, we got to make some major changes there and get after the ball. It just doesn't seem like we're reacting to it coming off the rim, and they're going to get it. You know, they played very well defensively. It was a good half for North. We'll recover.
And it's never easy to stay there, huh?
No, it isn't. And that's the way it should be.
Supposed to be tough. Thanks for the visit, Coach. Gentlemen.
Thank you, John Cole. At the half, semifinal game number 1 here at the Jamestown Civic Center. North 17, Bismarck 12. You're watching the Girls State Day on the North Dakota NBC Sports Network.
When you want to go where the road ends.
State Day semifinals, and North leads Bismarck High 17-12. Fargo North leads Bismarck High 17-12 after the first half, and as you might expect, shooting is really the story of the first half.
Well, yeah, the numbers definitely reflect the scoreboard. Bismarck 5 of 20. I mean, I don't need a calculator to figure out that one's 25%. That is not good. I mean, North isn't great either at 35, but yet North got 3 more to go in. North has out-rebounded Bismarck, and the Demons have turned the ball over more. And in fact, North has scored 6 points off of those turnovers too, so that points on turnovers department that you said Bismarck was so good yesterday, well, North owns that column as well, so it was first half advantage North.
Natalie Bruner has 6 points, but she struggled shooting from the field. Just 2 of 9 field goals in the first half. And Fargo North has 6 players who are in the book scoring-wise. Getz, LaRude, and Michelle Hansen, all with 4 each. We go to Scott Peters.
All right, thanks, guys. I'm with North head coach Ann Watkins. 5-point lead, you got to be happy with that. And a couple of keys we talked about before the game. Natalie Bruner, she's 2 of 9, so she's taking shots you guys want her to take.
Absolutely. We got our freshman on her, and she's just doing a great job of just trying to contain her, and the other kids are stepping up and helping when she gets beat, and we've done a good job containing her. Hopefully that'll continue the second half.
Talk about you guys offensively. You're getting some looks inside, too. That's something you wanted, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Our shooting percentage isn't great, but we're doing all right that way. If we execute maybe just a little bit better, we'll be okay on the offensive end.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach. Let's go back to Dan Lee.
Thank you, Scott. The second half coming our way next. This is the Girls State Day.
Tools give you the power to achieve goals. Financial tools from U.S.
Well, North leads by 5, and Scott talked a little bit about the keys to the game over with Coach there. And before this started, here's some things we thought that these teams needed to do. For Bismarck, well, the Spartan speed, 6 points off turnovers. Tournament experience hasn't played a factor yet. And negate Natalie, yes, 2 of 9 shooting, points inside early, yes. North got away from that. They went back to that. That's why North is leading. Keys to the game, advantage North.
And the third quarter coming your way next. You're watching continuing coverage of the 99 Girls State A.
Out here, a lot can go through your mind.
Bismarck has possession to open the third quarter. Lee and I will be selecting an American Dairy Association Player of the Game after this game and each of our tournament games throughout yet another state tournament season. The A this week will be back with you next Friday and Saturday from Bismarck and the State B. And really the storyline for the State B, much of the same as the storyline going into this tournament. Who knows? Bruner sandwiches her way between a couple of defenders and earns a trip to the free throw line.
Well, Bismarck coming out of, and his first possession was patient. Shields instant replay. We get the back half of this as Bruner, as she does so well, puts the ball on the floor, draws the defense, and there was a block there. I tell you, Johnner, though, was in pretty good defensive position once again. It's not like Bruner's blowing past her or anything. And Natalie's just having a tough shooting day. 67% free throw
Goodness
shooter, and
gracious.
she just whiffed on it. That's what, 4 misses in a row for her now from the line.
2 of 6 free throws in the game, and 2 of 9 field goals.
And she hit her first 2.
Holton almost lost the dribble. She floated it ahead for Johnner, who chased it down. Now she has it knocked away from behind by Saylor, but it went off Saylor, and North will keep it.
Well, Saylor and Meese, Coach Hovland thinks it has one of the best guard tandems defensively with those 2 gals for that particular instance there. They close on the ball. They work off each other real well.
Hanson tried to feed Holton on the baseline. She saved it, but right to the Demons' Rochelle Gossett.
Well, even though North, outplayed Bismarck in that first half, the advantage for the Demons in that was that it was low scoring. So yes, you didn't play well, but you were only down 5.
Bruner, the follow in the basket.
That's her 4th.
Down North, 3-on-1. They had numbers there, but they didn't seize the opportunity, and Ness knocks it away from Hanson.
Well, granted, we talked about Bruner not making a lot of shots. She made her last one, but that's already her 4th rebound. She does all the other things so well. Leads the team in steals, 3rd in the team in blocks.
Bruner answers, so back-to-back buckets by Natalie Bruner here to begin the 3rd quarter, and Bismarck High has cut that deficit down to 1. Bruner tipped it. Who to go off of? It goes off of North.
Pretty good lobby in there by Bruner. She has her right hand taped up. She did break her finger earlier, and she has tape back on that right hand, and she kind of held it after reaching in there. But yeah, after Bruner, back-to-back buckets, a quick 20-second timeout. There's the tape you see on Natalie Bruner. She broke that finger earlier this year. Never missed a practice, never missed a game. And she did shake it just a hair there as she deflected it off of Getz. Shields instant replay. Ness with the ball in the deep corner. And Bruner, and that's what I like about her game so much, and Dan and I talked about it earlier, is that so many times you see players have to put the ball on the floor to get any type of rhythm or anything going.
Bruner steps inside, shoots over Johnner. Bruner with 6 consecutive points in the 3rd quarter, and Bismarck High has wiped out a 7-point deficit. The Demons lead 18-17.
Well, that goes back to the point I made earlier. Hey, you didn't play well in the first half. Yeah, granted, new half, let's get it going. Only down by 5.
The last North bucket came with 2:37 remaining in the 2nd quarter. So they have gone 4+ minutes without scoring, and that drought ends right there with Larson's basket.
But Larson again inside. That's what North did early in the game, did it well. You go back to what works well, and when you can get the ball inside, good things always happen.
Holton tight defensively on Saylor, so Saylor goes to the baseline, and that's an offensive foul. Larson had position set down deep on the baseline, and Saylor crashed into her.
Well, one thing as Jenny Saylor is throughout the course of this year especially has really gotten to move to her left well. She did that time. Shields instant replay, the backdoor cut, and the bucket that breaks the scoring drought for North.
We'll be back to the Jamestown Civic Center right after this.
We're at the St. Paul Ford plant loading up the Northland Edition Rangers. It's awesome. A 4x4 super cab loaded with the V6, CD player, flare side bed, and a choice of 3 special.
Rich Hovland, Darren Mattern along the Bismarck High bench. The hand on the forehead, you can tell they're in a tight basketball game. It works on the nerves of the coaches. Saylor picking up the defense tight on Johnner.
Look at how open the weak side is, what North has been able to find. Overload the right, bring somebody back on a cut.
And that might be 3 seconds, and it is. Hanson got caught camping out in the lane.
Yeah, and Hanson was a long ways from the bucket in that high post, but yeah, she was in that blue part, that high post, and Hanson's been one of the players that have been setting the screens that have opened that backdoor cut.
That weak side is still there for North, but it's a recognition.
But you can still get it if you set a good screen and throw a good pass.
Saylor looks inside as Bruner cuts to the top of the key, puts it on the floor, gets around Johnner over the double team. And Larson kept it alive, and then the foul will go on Bismarck's Stacy Mees.
Shields instant replay, the little hesitation as LaRue dropped off. That left Bruner thinking, hey, I can go to the bucket, but North knows that Bruner's the player. So that brought Larson back up to help.
Who made a heck of a play to keep it alive. Now she tries to convert on the offensive end, but it's 1 and out, and Ness clears the rebound away, and the Demons look to regain the lead.
I wonder if Bruner, after whacking that ball, the last possession, when Mees threw the foul, Natalie again grabbed her hand. So that has to be bothering her a little bit. It'll never bother her enough to come out of a game.
Oh, no.
But again, she did break that finger in the Williston game earlier this year.
In fact, if you were to ask her, how's your hand? Oh, it's fine.
Yep, no problem, Coach. Leave me in. She's holding it again right now. On the weak side.
Yep. D-Wall back into the game for Bismarck High. Mees along the baseline.
5-second call, I think.
Yes, it is. Gets defended by Bruner. Under 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. There's the back door again, and it's blocked by Bruner. Oh my, Natalie Bruner getting up and blocking Johnner's field goal attempt. Gets now struggling with possession of the ball.
Maybe that finger isn't bothering her because she keeps swatting at the basketball with that right hand.
Holton wants it underneath. She gets it, but she's too deep. Kicks it back out. LaRue now.
Stayed in lane.
And there's another 3-second. Couple of 3-second violations by the Spartans here in the third quarter.
Yeah, she did, after getting the ball out of the lane, she didn't get herself out of the lane. Shields instant replay. There's the backdoor cut. Here's Johnner and the big swat and the block by Bruner. Bruner third on the team at 5'6" in blocks. Also the leader in scoring, third in rebounding, first in steals, third in assists, an all-around player.
Mees, left hand, and Bismarck High regains the lead.
Well, it is imperative that somebody other than Bruner to score for Bismarck. I mean, it is just a rare case where one player beats you single-handedly.
Bruner with the steal. One-on-one now, and she had it dribble off her leg, and Johnner comes up with the turnover. Whoa. That pass was destined to be stolen, but wasn't. Holton to the baseline, throws up a wild shot.
I'm sure Johanna thought there was going to be a foul on that play. She played it of contact.
Another loose ball. Here's LaRue. Lucy gets, had it partially blocked, it found the iron, it rolls off, and this time D-Wall has a rebound, and North is really trying to plead its case, thinking on one of those two possessions they thought they should have had a whistle.
Getting a little physical, away from the, the floor.
Oh, what a bounce pass. Bruner to D-Wall. She cannot finish. Check it, it was Ness. Now whistle comes underneath.
I think it's on D-Wall for a push, but yeah, there's that physical Ness that we're talking about. 43, the foul. It is the second one on D-Wall.
Foul number 43, Lacey D-Wall.
Second on D-Wall. We're under 2 minutes to play, third quarter. At Bismarck High leading North 20-19. Well, Fargo North, despite scoring just 2 field goals since the 2:37 mark of the second quarter, that's quite a stretch. is still just down 1, 2019 and in possession.
Well, it's the same thing what we said at halftime with Bismarck. You know, if it's a low-scoring game, that means you're never far out of the lead.
Holton picks up her dribble. Bounce pass is knocked away.
Beth Johnson
Rochelle
comes in.
Gossett.
Beth Johnson, 33. And part of that guard rotation, more the defensive-oriented guard player.
Bruner has her shot blocked. Lucy gets swatted that away.
And I'm sure North was happy to give a little medicine back because Bismarck has had quite a few blocks. And Coach Watkins said head and shoulder fakes.
Look at Bismarck, though, on that possession and the possession before, how quickly they're getting to the basketball. They're pressuring the basketball now stronger, I think, than they have at any point of the game. Dolan, that's Katie Dolan, because she does have a twin sister, Kayla, who also plays, but Katie Dolan back into the North lineup, as well as Michelle Hansen. Saylor, hounded by Holton. Bruner now gets a step on Johnner, throws up the shot. It's kept alive on the offensive boards by Gossett. And a whistle and a Spartan will be nailed for the foul underneath, and that will go against Hansen.
Third personal, second team foul.
Shields instant replay off the scoop. I thought it was going to crawl over there for a second from Bruner, then Gossett. And up and got it.
Kayla Dolan enters the North lineup. She wears 14, and twin sister Katie wears 21.
Twins, both 5'9", one an inside player, one an outside player.
That's right. Katie being the inside player, Kayla the outside player.
Well, in back-to-back possessions off a turnover here, it's Bismarck High doing what North wanted to do and did early in the game. That is create some things inside, get back inside. Gossett just caused a couple of fouls there, and she goes back to the line. In the 90s for Bismarck High into the state tournament in the 4th of the last 5 years. So a lot of these kids, and you're looking at one of them, Stacy Meese has been on the varsity since a freshman. We talked about, you know, some tournament experience. Lindsay Ness was a sophomore last year, had a real good state tournament.
See if North tries to get the ball into the hands of Katie Dolan and get her a shot off. She's been defended by Bruner, and then coming up with the steal is Saylor. Can she finish? It's knocked around, still loose in the paint, and finally Holton has it for North, and then she's fouled as she made her way toward the other end. And that foul will be on Saylor.
But you talk about attacking the basketball. I mean, both of these teams, I mean, if you're putting that ball on the floor, if you're trying to get an interior pass, if you're trying to shoot it, I mean, these teams are helping, whacking, getting a hand in there.
Holton to the baseline, off the glass. And at the buzzer, she doesn't have time to follow her own miss.
Dry quarter for North.
The Demons lead 21-19 after 3 quarters, and North can muster just the one field goal from Sarah Larson. We head to the 4th.
What would you do if your child had cerebral...
It's the state, folks. You got to get painted up. What's your name?
Eric Barnick.
All right, you look good at it. All right, thank you.
Scott Knuschitsky.
All right.
I'm Luke Thompson.
Hey, now, how long did it take you to put all this together here?
About an hour for me and him for our faces and stuff.
Demons going to get to the title game here?
Oh, yeah. You know it.
There's a green, guys.
Lee, I'm surprised that we're in this low scoring of a game between these two teams. I thought it'd be a little more of an open floor game.
Well, without a doubt, I figured this one would be, you know, 50s or 60s for both teams.
Katie Dolan knocks down the 3, and you got to believe that was a set play by the Spartans to begin the 4th quarter.
It looked a lot like the play that Dolan popped out and hit the game winner with yesterday from the same spot on the floor.
Exactly same spot.
And that's one thing that North will do and they did yesterday, is set those type of plays. Shields instant replay. She comes off a screen, open from 3, and just like yesterday, it goes in. She made 6 of those, a tournament record yesterday.
Meese kicks it inside. Larson was there to deny that pass. Meese waiting to inbounds. Bruner double team, tries to go to her left and is able to kick it back outside.
Well, out of the timeout, or into the quarter, I should say. It's a 2-3 zone. North has been very effective in that man-to-man. This is just to give Bismarck, I think, a different look, and they'll be back to the man before this game's over.
Played man-to-man pretty much the whole game yesterday. There's a three-pointer by Stacy Meese, her first of the game.
Well, Dolan in the tournament anyway has been the three-point specialist for Fargo North. All year long, the three-point shooter for Bismarck High, number 23. Stacy Meese, that's her 26th. Far and away the team lead.
Lob inside, knocked away by Ness. Bismarck up 24-22. Winner goes to the title game. Saylor high off the glass. Ness follows, and that's a 4-point Demon lead. Let's see how the Spartans react now. They've been either in the lead or just a point or two from it. Do they turn it over? Yes, they do. Bruner's on the other end. Hesitated a second, puts up the shot, she got it! And she'll go to the free throw line, and Bismarck High has its biggest lead of the game, and Bruner trying to convert a three-point play.
Shields instant replay. Bruner started it, she knocked it away. Meese collected it, saw her teammate number 5, the junior at 5'6", open. Bruner spun it off the glass and off the foul from Dolan.
It is a three-point play, 29-22.
Well, North yesterday made big baskets whenever it needed to. At this stage of the game, down by 5, this is kind of a bigger possession.
Here comes Dolan.
Working off the screen. Not there this time. Double dribble. Yeah, Getz used up her dribble, looked left, and saw, hey, the baseline's open. Oops.
She wanted to go there. Bruner on the dribble, goes to the free throw line. Quickly inside. Oh, she blew around her defender. Lindsay Ness has the rebound, but Gossett really got her around her defender in a hurry to get a good look at the basket.
Well, here's what you talked about, Dan. Shields instant replay. Gossett made a quick move to get past Larson, and then just like the other time down, it's Ness. Ness will go to the free throw line after the timeout.
And we'll return after this.
Tools give you the edge, the upper hand. Financial tools from U.S. Bank are no exception.
Katie Dolan's three-pointer to begin this fourth quarter put North up 22-21. Since then, it's 8 straight by the Demons.
Arch on that one. That was a very flat shot from Ness, who has pretty good touch. Nine in a row.
2 second-half field goals for Fargo North. Make it 3 as Kayla Dolan scores for the Spartans.
Well, North had been in that double high post and using a lot of screens around the free throw line. It looked like they were going to start in that again, and then Dolan, Kayla just dropped back down and got in good position on the low box.
Saylor to the paint. Inside to Ness. The turnaround off the glass.
Well, Ness had position down there a while. That was close to being a 3-second violation.
Kayla Dolan again inside. Kind of got bumped around by that double team defenders.
Yeah, Gossett came over to help, and it was Gossett the one that did the bumping.
Bruner is fouled by Johnner along the deep baseline.
And Bruner will shoot.
Foul on number 13, Carissa Johnner, her second personal foul. 17.
Well, certainly we advertised her to be the central figure of this basketball game, and she was in the first half for what she wasn't able to do, and she has been in the second half for what she has been able to do, Natalie Bruner.
Well, I mean, you just, every time you look at, you know, a box score, or you cover a game, I mean, she's always, you know, around that 17 to 23 points. What is she up to now? 17.
Holton cross court. Gets, puts it on the floor. Left hand off the glass, no good. Larson follows, has it blocked, but Ness picked up the foul.
Shields instant replay. Gets with the aggressive move. No chance for that one to go in. But Bismarck High helped get a lead on the offensive glass. And Larson got that offensive rebound, and then just like Ness before her from the free throw line, just fired a bullet, a line drive up there.
Ness gets a rest as D-Wall checks into the Bismarck lineup. 1 of 2 free throws for Larson. A 9-point Bismarck High lead, 3:54 to play. Mandan and Minot waiting in the wings.
Full court.
Bruner spinning along the baseline, and
fourth one on Gossett.
It is on Gossett as he tried to pull away that offensive rebound. 6th team foul on Bismarck High. That'll get Ness back into the ball game quickly for Bismarck High.
Yeah, so her rest was about 30 seconds. Rich Hovland just looked and asked for a timeout.
So we're under 4 minutes to play. Bismarck High has rallied here in the fourth quarter. The Demons lead 34-25.
Getting ready to take on a tough North Dakota winter begins at your Ford Outfitter. That's Bill Barth Ford in Mandan.
Possessions are at a premium for Fargo North, trailing 34-25. As you see, 3:38, 7, 6, and counting.
Yeah, about 2 minutes ago, North needed something offensively positive to happen for them, and it didn't. So that really puts the pressure on now.
Dolan left hand. It was short, and Bruner keeps it alive underneath the defensive boards.
She does play all phases of the game.
Saylor.
Well, you know, North now will have to probably go for a few steals.
Yep.
May open some things up back door, depending on how patient or impatient the Demons want to be.
Yeah, you're kind of forced to be a risk taker now defensively. As the defense opened up, it created some alleys, and Stacy Mees finds one of those alleys to the basket.
Well, on the drive, North went to try to, you know, protect the pass or go into the passing lane. After a pump fake, there was no pass.
Larson's shot is strong. Holton kept it alive and was fouled over there on the far side of the baseline.
I'll tell you, Bismarck High has been able to close games pretty well this year. I mean, the exception was the Williston game in the region tournament. That was a loss, of 52 to 45 loss. But Meese there on the Shields replay, the pump fake. You saw Holton just kind of standing there, not knowing where to go, and she split him. And the other thing in this game that has happened, and I'm not sure what the shooting is like in the fourth quarter for North, but North started off 45%, and then at halftime the shooting percentage was down to 35%, and then after the end of 3 it was down to 31%. Well, now the game has gone on, North's shooting has gone down. Just the opposite for Bismarck.
Not only their shooting percentages, but the number of opportunities they've had at the basket. You know, in that first half they had 23 field goal opportunities. In that third quarter, that was down to 6. They had 6 chances at the basket. Strong double team. And a foul as a result.
Shoot.
And Watkins looking up at that clock, knowing that it's a major factor in the game with 2:31 remaining and her team trailing 36-27.
Saylor, the top percentage free throw shooter for Bismarck on the year. Over 73%, which naturally means that she goes to the line and misses.
Larson's pass was short, and Meese picks it off. Meese trying to get around Lucy Getz, who's D'ing it up pretty strong. And now Johnner comes in and commits the foul.
Well, you can tell that that was an obvious instance where Meese was not thinking basket or thinking points at all. She got past the defender, tried and was fouled, spinning and trying to pass the ball back out.
19 foul. Meese, shooting 1 to 1.
The Demons struggled a bit from the free throw line in the third quarter, but they've been darn good at the free throw line here in the fourth quarter. .2:15 to play, an 11-point Bismarck High lead.
6 of 8 in the fourth quarter alone from the line. Well, that's one thing you do. I talked about Bismarck doing a good job of being able to close games, and you do that many times from the line.
If you're North, you got to start thinking about some threes now. Under 2 minutes to play, and they turn it over. Meese stripped it away from Johnner.
And Johnner reached right back in to try to do the same or get the ball back, and that was the fourth foul on Carissa.
Her fourth personal. 10-team foul on Miss Martinez.
North, with 2:37 remaining in the second quarter, took a 17-10 lead. But since then, they have just 3 field goals.
That was the double bonus, the 10th total foul, so that's why Meese is shooting 2.
Johnner again loses the handle.
And it was Meese again, right there. Tell you, the freshman point guard Johnner does not have that happen to her often, and then back-to-back possessions for North it did.
Now Bismarck spreads the floor. Meese to the basket and was fouled. Boy, take a look at what Bismarck High has done defensively in this tournament. Yesterday, they held West Fargo to 24 points. And here we are with 1:28 left, and North has yet to hit the 30 mark.
Yeah, and throughout the course of the year, Bismarck defense is giving up 41 points a game, so that's not much. It's pretty stingy. Stacy's in the double figures. I didn't believe that was her 11th.
All in the second half. She was 0 for 3 field goal wise in the first half. 14-point cushion for Bismarck High heading to the state championship game.
If I'm not mistaken, it's for the first time back for Bismarck to the title game since the year they won it in '91.
A tale of two halves here tonight. North won the first half. Bismarck High has won the second half and is going to win the basketball game. Katie Dolan to the basket, and that's a charge. Offensive foul, basket waved off.
But isn't that weird how that happens, though, that, you know, you have a halftime, well, the last Viking game.
Monday night.
Minnesota was pathetic Monday night. I mean, it just, from pathetic to potent, I guess is one way to put it. And that the Vikings then, and you take a halftime break and certain things happen. It's weird. Same players, same floor, they just switch ends.
And the Cowboys are just the opposite. Deion Sanders told us in the Dallas locker room Monday night, he goes, you know what we have to start doing? We have to be like a Little League football team. Instead of going to the locker room, we should just huddle at the end of the field. Because the Cowboys have been very good first half team this year, but a horrible second half team.
Replacing Larson. Aaron Doyle in the game. Replacing Carissa Johnner.
Holton at the free throw line for the Spartans.
Now 3 field goals in the second half. Not going to cut it for North.
Eventually.
Second is strong. Mees has the rebound. She's tied up by Holton. Possession arrow goes to Bismarck.
Susan Hanisch now in the game.
Susan Hanisch, number 15, into the North lineup. So is Aaron Doyle, who wears number 11.
Both are juniors.
Saylor and Mees exchanging passes. About 10 feet inside the half-court line. Now they penetrate at the top of the key.
Dean Smith would be proud.
That's right. That's Dean Smith ball there. Fourth corner, spread it out, and milk the clock.
Just the other night, I was watching an interview with Dean Smith was talking to Charlie Rose, and they got talking about the four corners and how if it was a 6-point game with 4 or 5 minutes left, they just knew they were going to win. It's the first thing that hasn't gone right for her in a while.
That's right. Well, Bruner once again will lead Bismarck High in scoring, as she has done pretty much each and every game this season, on the way to a 20-point average. Doyle's field goal attempt was well short of iron.
Yeah, it was Kayla Dolan just kind of whipped Meese aside. That means Stacy will have 2 more free throws. She's been to the line quite often here in the fourth.
First personal, Kayla Dolan.
Mees to the free throw line. .61% free throw shooter. Larissa Gelpin, number 45, into the Bismarck lineup. So is D-Wall. Emily Knoll, number 31, a 5'5" sophomore, checking back in now, or checking in rather, for her first playing time of the night.
You say Emily Knoll, number 31?
Yes, I did.
I should have been listening then, huh?
Saw you updating your free throw stats there. It's all right.
Yeah, I was writing 14 points behind Stacy Meese's day.
Meese and Bruner really fueling Bismarck High's second half rally here tonight. D-Wall has it stolen away from behind by Doyle, then she turned it over back to D-Wall. And Bismarck High has a date in the state championship game. The Demons 44, Fargo North 28. Bismarck High has played 2 games here in the state tournament and has held both of its opponents under 30 points.
In the fourth quarter, Bismarck High outscored North 23-9.
We'll catch up with Rich Hovland and Natalie Bruner and have a little conversation with them. Looks like John Cole has a date with Natalie Bruner, who has a date in the state championship game. And we'll talk with her shortly.
The second semifinal game will start in approximately 25 minutes.
Minot and Mandan coming up next. Of course, Mandan, a perennial visitor to the state championship game. They'll see if they can have a date with Cross River neighbor Bismarck High. Now we go to John Cole.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Natalie, Rich told me at halftime, don't worry, we'll come back. You folks came back with a strong second half. What was the difference there in the second half from the first?
We started to play a little better. We were making more shots, so stuff was starting to fall down for us. We were making our free throws. We just played a lot better.
A little tight in the first half. Second half, you just said, let's just go out and play Bismarck basketball like you did in the second half of the 99 season, because you were a heck of a team in the second half of the season.
Yeah, we wanted to come out and give it our all because we really wanted to make it the championship, and we did. We just gave it our all.
I tell you what, this North Club's tough. They got a lot of good young kids, don't they?
Yeah, they're really athletic and good. They're hard to defend, but we pulled through it and we won, so.
All right, get some rest. We'll see you tomorrow night, okay?
Thank you.
All right, she's a good one. Scott, over to you.
All right, thanks, John. I'm with North senior Sarah Larson, and talk about the difference between the first half and the second half tonight.
First half, it was anybody's game. In the second half, Bismarck stepped it up on their defense, and we couldn't adjust to their defense, and you got to give them credit for playing great defense.
Natalie Bruner became a factor, too. You guys held her in check in the first half. In the second half, she came alive.
Yeah, great player. You just, you need to contain, you need to play help side on her, and it was their night.
Yeah, one more game tomorrow night. Good luck, Sarah. Thanks a lot. Let's go back to the front desk. Dan and Lee.
Okay, Scott. Minot, Mandan have taken the floor for the second semifinal game coming up in about 20 minutes from now. We'll break away. And as we leave, we'll remind you you're watching continuing coverage of the 99 Girls State A on NBC North Dakota Sports. The American Dairy Association's player of the game is Bismarck High's Natalie Bruner, who will receive a certificate and a donation sent to Bismarck High on her behalf from your local dairy farmers who ask, got milk?
Well, we told you she can play a complete game, and Natalie Bruner, after a slow 2 of 9 start of shooting in the first half, ended with 18 points. She also had 5 rebounds, 2 steals, an assist, and a block. Natalie Bruner has led her Demons into the championship game, and for that, she is our American Dairy Association player of the game.
Well, the State A and 9-9 turning